First, there was Maracaibo. Then there was Pirates of Maracaibo. And now there's Pirates of Maracaibo Commanders. This is the expansion for Pirates of Maracaibo. If you're not familiar with all of those things, Maracaibo is a big, heavier, more robust Euro. Pirates of Maracaibo came out. A lot of people thought, oh, it was just a cute spinoff. It pushes a lot of the same buttons as Maracaibo, but it's definitely a more streamlined experience.
It's very streamlined, but in a lot of ways better because of it. I think. Because you're right. It pushes so many buttons, and this Commanders expansion pushes those buttons in even more satisfying ways.
I think Commanders is going to take Pirates and tilt it a little closer in terms of heaviness. It's not significantly heavier. You're still mostly playing the same game. There's just a few more things to do, and the expansion comes with a wide variety to add to the game as well. So like Ryan said, I think if you're, just the elephant in the room, if you like Pirates of Maracaibo and you play it, there's no question that you're going to want to get Commanders.
And this is definitely not one of those expansions where you say, do we play with it? No, once you get Commanders, you're going to want to mix it all in together for a variety of reasons that should make sense when this video is done. I would never play without it. We've talked in the past about what should an expansion bring to a game, and I think that this nails it. First of all, it brings a bunch of new stuff to the game without increasing the complexity. The way that you're interacting with these new components is still the same way you were interacting with the game before. It just gives you a lot more cards, a lot more variability, a lot more things to do in that aspect of the game.
Yeah, a ton more cards, and you just shuffle these things in. They've got some level 2 cards. They got some level 1 cards that you're going to mix in for those cards that you use during setup. It's got more mastheads, just 4 more mastheads, but it's got them. It's also going to add some new things, right? So from a resource standpoint, you're going to see some pieces here. We've got rum barrels because there's a rum market that you can interact with out on the board, or a couple of them anyway. And cannons. Cannons is another component. It's going to be interesting. The upgrade cubes that you put on your ship, you're going to be able to do things. When you acquire a cannon, you can replace one of those cubes with a cannon. And it's really cool because I didn't think about it this at first, but as you place them, you're like, oh, that's cool, because it looks like a cannon pointing out the side of your ship. And the cannons are going to come into play when you interact with and attack the forts that are out on the board, because the forts are another thing that have been added that I think bring, like you were saying before we started recording, bring more of an attacky, a themey attacky sort of aspect because you're pirates.
Yeah, we had the raids before, which... the raids were fine. That represents a raid. Like, you're rolling some dice, you're getting some resources. These are more of a flat out attack. Like, you're actually fighting these forts, and you put these out at the beginning of the game. They're random values. I think it goes from a 4 strength to an 11. So they get pretty high, but they're going to stay out. So you can kind of plan your attacks for later in the game. All of these new components are going to feed into what I think is the primary new function of the Commanders expansion, which are the Commanders themselves. That's a big part of the game.
Yeah, the Commanders, it's no coincidence that that's the name of the expansion. These things bring a ton. This alone, if they put these out and nothing else that we just discussed, I would say buy this too. Because the Commanders, at the beginning of the game, each player is going to get 2 of these. And of course, as you might have guessed, they bring variable powers. But you're going to get 2 of them. You can choose which one is your commander, and then you flip the other one over and use the back of it. It's going to go on the back of your space, and the commander is going to go on the left-hand side of your space.
And make a great little panoramic.
And like Ryan always likes,
I do like that.
It has a picture that works, so it really feels like a complete player board now. But these commanders are going to bring in variable powers that do all sorts of wild things, not to mention a lot of action spaces that you can interact with rum, and with forts by placing things on them to effectively kind of work your way out through this tree to fire off these actions and bonus actions once you've completed certain actions.
Yeah, and the cool thing about this expansion, and what I think is great for an expansion, is what this does, it gives you these boards, and you're powering these, like David said, you're powering them by fighting forts, you're powering them by collecting rum barrels, or you're not. You can still just not do that and play your very similar game of Maracaibo.
You could.
But I like that for an expansion, because what it's actually doing is just giving you another route to victory, another way to score points now, where you can say, I'm just going to go heavy into battling forts. I'm going to make that my goal. And that's a viable strategy because you're going to get a lot of upgrades to your player board now, both to your commander and to the other side, which is just a ton of bonuses, up to just like one that just gives you 10 points or some other in-game scoring opportunities. I like that. I like that it's not like, okay, you have to do this. And maybe you'll dabble. You'll do a little bit of the new commander stuff. You'll do a little bit of the old stuff, or you'll choose to go full heavy on the new stuff.
It's going to be really hard for me not to want to do
sure.
the new stuff. The commanders. So we're not going to go through each and every one of them, but trust us, they do some wildly different things and just some wild things. What your commander is associated with the ship upgrades.
Yeah, when I place ship upgrades with my commander, I can ignore the 2, 8, and 12 restriction. I can put my cubes wherever I want on my board at any time. I don't have to progress left to right, which seems really broken until you kind of think about the fact that there is a limit of like the leftmost actions kind of do help you more at the beginning.
Game, yeah.
But it's nice, like the one that costs $3 to put a black market or the one that's free, I can just skip right to I could do that right. My first upgrade can put out one of my black market tiles for free. It's a cool power, but I will preface this by saying all of my favorite games, think Marco Polo. When you're looking at these powers and each one feels broken, I don't know that any of them are broken. They're all very good. Like you're going to struggle to choose which one you want to use.
They seem incredibly powerful. You're going to read through a power and everyone at the table is going to go, what? That's crazy. Like my guy, a little more straightforward, but speaking of black markets, my guy Kraken Khan actually has his own exclusive black market that at the beginning of the game you place out. So you immediately start with a black market out on the board that only he can use, of course. That gives either 7 doubloons or 5 points. It's just straightforward.
That's huge.
I'll stop there and give $7 or 5 points.
Sure, every time.
Like, how are you not stopping on that black market every trip across the board?
Check out my other guy, my Ravaging Rajesh is his name. He comes with like a unique neutral explorer that goes out on the exploration board. When you move, you can split it up between 2 people and get double the rewards. So that even counts. The rules say even the bonuses for crossing the rivers.
Yeah, each time. There's 4 rivers. But effectively, there's 8 rivers for you because you can cross them that many times.
Right, and you're getting a ton more bonuses from their exploration track with this guy, which is huge.
Yeah, and the last one I want to talk about, it's the other side of my back of the space, is Iron Ingrid. She's pretty straightforward, but it's very cool. So she's kind of a treasure hunter. As you collect treasures, usually you're going to put them on your board and then bury them. Here, you can put them on her board and score either points or doubloons immediately, and you can still bury them off of these spaces, whereby I assume, I haven't read thoroughly through this character, you can actually replace more treasures on there and get more and more and more.
So, yeah, these powers are really good. And we talked about how these powers are kind of fueled by barrels. They're kind of fueled by attacking these forts. You're going to be placing those tokens on here in an interesting chain. A lot of that is happening with the new tokens, but the components that David mentioned, the new contracts, the new cards that come out, those will also interact with these new functions as well. But the other thing that they added, and again, this is a thing that I would maybe just buy by itself if they had released that.
Talking about the board?
There's a new exploration board, and it's actually made of these 2 double-sided boards that you connect in various ways. So it's like having 4 different exploration boards, including different sets of rewards out on the exploration boards, different sets of rewards for getting to the end of the exploration board. Like, it's kind of crazy that even just having 4 more exploration boards adds a lot more variability. Now, if you are using any of the expansion stuff, you can't use the old exploration board because you wouldn't want to.
This incorporates the ROM, the forts and everything into that we just talked about.
And your player powers and stuff like that.
Yeah, so these are all the things that are included in Commanders. Like we said at the beginning, if you have pirates, if you play Pirates of Maracaibo, I can't imagine you're not going to want to check this out. And if you're at Gen Con, definitely stop by their booth because Capstone, we said this last week in our Gen Con anticipated video. There's always a line at Capstone.
Always.
They always have at least one thing, if not more than one thing, that everyone is rabid to get. I think this one is going to sell out every day. Yeah. I'm sure they'll have multiple copies or some amount of copies. And
multiple copies? No, they're just bringing one copy.
They're bringing one copy a day. It's no. Don't listen to that. I don't know how many copies, but they'll probably have plenty of copies each day. And thankfully for Capstone, they're just over like 2 hours away from us. I know in past years they've run out of stuff and then they've driven over to their warehouse to get more. I don't know that they're going to do that. But anyway, if you're interested in commanders for Pirates of Maracaibo. Go check it out at their booth. Or if you have any more questions, put them in the comments below. We'll get down there and answer whatever we can. Until next time, though, make sure everyone has fun at the table, and we'll see you then.